Hey, what's up guys, it's Mr. Lee Gamer here, and this video is going to be a guide for the week 3 challenge of Elder. So if you guys don't know what the challenge is for week 3, it's a melee kills, that's the bonus you get. So if you get melee kills, you get bonus points for getting your kills. And this video is going to be giving you a guide on how to maximize your points, teaching you the boss fights, basically teaching you how to get through the challenge of Elders with ease without worrying about anything and without being, surprised by any attack moves or trying to figure out what's going on. So let's get right into it. So first, we're going to talk about the boss fights, what kind of moves you got to look out for. So each of the 3 boss fights only have 3 moves. I'm going to talk about them real quick. There's only one that you really have to worry about, and that's Kexus. He's the first boss you're going to be facing. He's a Taken Fallen Captain, so he's going to be the first one you're going to face. He has three attack moves. He has Stomp, which is a move that will only be activated if you get really close, meaning melee range. And yes, you do want to finish this captain off with a melee range if you want to maximize points. It's best if you rotate people coming in and out. So like, let's say you send 2 people in, 1 person stays back, because if his Stomp, gets all 3 of you, he can kill all 3 of you at the same time. So you might want to alternate people out to get your melee kills. Another thing he can do is call something called an explosive, but I like to label it as a blight explosive because it looks like a blight ball that spins around in the circle. And what you want to do is you want to stand on that and channel the corrupted light. If you do not do this, he will suppress you. So when that blight ball goes off and you do not channel the corrupted light, it will suppress you, meaning that it will take away all your super ability and slows down your special abilities like your grenade, your melee, and stuff like that. So you do wanna absorb this blight explosive just so you don't get suppressed. If you remember, if you have more people in it, the faster you channel the corrupted light. So the more people you have, the better. But it's always good to just have 1 person in. Another thing he does is he kind of tosses a blight at you. It's like all the other fallen captains or taken captains. They toss this black orb, and if you get hit by it, it kind of darkens your screen, slows you down, but it's easy to dodge, so you don't have to worry about it. The best way to get your points, once again, is kill ads, hurt boss, wait until reinforcements pop up, kill ads, rinse and repeat, and this is the same thing for all 3 guys. So the next one is gonna be the Taken Vex guy. He's the second boss you're gonna reverse. He has 3 attacks just like the first one. Actually, all 3 bosses have the same 3 attacks as well. The one he has, just random shooting. He'll target a player, he'll just shoot at him. Not that big of a deal, easy to dodge. Just like the first captain, he will have a stomp, so if you get within melee range, he will try to stomp you. So once again, just send 2 people up at a time, so you don't all 3 wipe at the same time. And another thing he'll do is an attack move, which I don't really know the name of, but I like to call it the Red Circle of Death, because there's like a red circle around you that he'll teleport an attack on you. If you're within that range, it does massive splash damage and does have a chance to down you. So if you see this red circle on the ground, which I like to call the Red Circle of Death, you do want to get out of that because it does massive damage. So that's something you want to avoid. But other than that, he's a very easy boss to do. Same thing with the first boss. Kill ads, damage him, reinforcements, kill ads. Rinse and repeat with the ads and boss. Then you have the Wretched Knight. He is just a regular hive. He has 3 attacks. He has Stomp, which again, if you get melee range, he'll Stomp. He'll randomly select a player to shoot at, easy to dodge as well. Then of course, like the other ones, he does have this special move where it is really dangerous, but it's easy to counter. So he does something called, he summons his mines, and it's like these little black orbs that stand midair. The best way to do it is just run straight through them. Make sure you don't stand on them. You want to just keep running, because if you do stand on them, you will die. Or you could, just get close to them, make them detonate and back off. But the way I like to do is, just straight run through all the mines, detonate all of them at one time, so you don't worry about them, and then, just keep meleeing. So now let's go on to the strategy that I like to use for each of the individual classes, Hunter, Warlock, and Titan. So since we just talked about the bosses and the fights and how, to keep on progressing without worrying about any of the mechanics, let's go on to the best strategy to maximize your points and to get the best points as possible for 3 of the classes. So first of all, before we get into classes, I do want to say that the Monte Carlo is the best weapon to use for this. It's an exotic auto rifle. So what it does is when you damage enemies with the Monte Carlo, it recharges your melee ability, which is really helpful because since this week is melee, you do want to be able to recharge your melee as fast as you possibly can. So having the Monte Carlo definitely helps out a lot. So if you do have the Monte Carlo, you do want to use it. It's very helpful. If you don't worry about it. This challenge is pretty easy. So let's get off with the Hunter. The Hunter, the subclass I personally chose is Blade Dancer. The reason why I chose Blade Dancer is because the super that you use is a melee super. You don't want to use the the regular super move that you have. Just tap the knife button that you usually have when you blade dance, and it counts as a melee kill. But you're also generating orbs of light, which is a good thing. You get bonus points from doing that. And while you're doing this, you kind of want to have Encore and Mask of the Third Man. The reason why you want to do Encore is because it increases the duration of each enemy you kill. So if you kill an enemy, it increases the duration of your blade dance. But not only that, but Mask of the Third Man uses less super when you attack, so you're going to have a longer blade dance if you use these two combined together. Also with the Monte Carlo, it'll help you out a lot. For your melee ability, you want to have Fast Twitch. Fast Twitch recharges your melee faster, and of course you always want to have more damage on your melee so you can get those melee kills. So Fast Twitch is a good option. Alright, now with the Titan. The Titan, I personally chose a Defender. Reason why is because the Titan's not really known as a melee build. Of course, you could go with the Striker for this, but the reason why I chose Defender is because I was going more for Orbs of Light, assist, helping my teammates out. So what I did was I chose Defender with Blessings of Light. Reason why is because going for melees, you do want to have more health when you're going for melee so you don't die. Gift of the Light for your melee is because when you do have your bubble up and your Force Barrier is up, Gift of the Light, every time you get a melee, generates an orb. And then also Gift of the Void is a talent in your subclass, so whenever your bubble gets hit by enemy fire, it also has a chance to generate orbs, which is a very good thing. And then also another perk that I like to use is Untouchable, because you kind of want to pair up your melee with your Force Barrier. So it's always a good combination to have those, so you're constantly generating Orbs of Light for your teammates, constantly generate supers, but not only that, you're getting a lot of melee kills. So that's why I chose with the Titan. Once again, Monte Carlo is a good pairing for all three of these subclasses. Now let's go into the Warlock. So the Warlock, I chose Sunslinger. The reason why I chose Sunslinger is because it's my preferred class setup. Plus, if you activate your super, which is Radiance, and Song of Flame, it reduces the abilities, or it reduces the cooldowns of your abilities, so your teammates get them faster, plus you get them faster, which is always a good thing. So I chose Song of Flame with my Radiance, which is a good thing. You could do Ford Walker or Stormcaller, but I personally chose Sunsinger with Song of Flame as my super. And then for my melee, I chose Solar Wind. And then also with my talent tree, I chose Sunburst, because when you kill enemies with Scorch, you have a chance to generate orbs. So that's the ways I'd like to maximize my points. Of course, if you don't want to do this, that's fine. I was easily breaking 30,000 without the strategy, but with the strategy, I was easily getting 46,000, and that's not even with optimizing points. You could break 50,000 or more if you use a strategy with each of the three subclasses. As you can see in the gameplay, I was using all this. It worked out perfectly. I found it super helpful. Hopefully you guys found it helpful too. But the biggest thing you do want to focus on is making sure you have the Monte Carlo. The Monte Carlo is probably the best help you can actually get going to Challenge of Elders. So what you want to do with the Monte Carlo is, just kind of damage the enemies to the one shot, and then go for a melee, because it definitely recharges your melee super fast, but you're also getting melee kills. But that's all I can offer right now. That's the strategy I have, what I went with. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. Hopefully it does maximize your points. Once again, with my strategies I was doing now, not even optimizing, I was still breaking 40,000, going to 46 easily. And even if you don't do the strategy, you'll still get 30,000, no problem. This week's challenge is very easy, but I'm just giving you the best way to maximize all your points. But if you guys do use a strategy and you guys do break 50,000, let me know in the comments below what your total score that round is, because I definitely want to see how high people can go with a strategy and how they pair it up. But if you guys did find this helpful and you do want to share with your friends, make sure you could they could learn about their subclass while you learn yours as well, and you guys compare this and maximize your points. But once again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to catch you guys later.